This is pretty much as impromptu alive as you're going to get. I literally went over and took care of my son's dogs. And then I decided on the way home, I saw this popping out here. I figured I would stop on for 15 minutes or so. It is about 42, 43 degrees, so it's pretty nice out. Hey, real outdoor living. So if you listen really close, the birds are really doing a lot of singing and yapping today. So, but hey, Debbie. Like I said, this is just I just was on my way home from my son's house to take care of his dogs. They're out of town for a couple days, and then I saw this happening. I'm like, well, I'll go get a short live stream of that because I am coming out here as soon as the sun is up. I got the next 3 days are going to be busy. So what you can see is if you look down there, if you can see, it's kind of dark still. Yeah, there it is. This is coming out my back door. So this is my asparagus patch right here. This is where they're growing, and this is where I have them tarped off, and I'm going to plant here hopefully in 2 weeks. And then this line of posts here is using this fence. It's a 4-foot wire fence. This will be for my pole beans, because if I don't put a fence here, as the asparagus, as they get high, like 6 foot tall, they fern out, they start to tip over, and then they bully all the other plants. So I'm putting a fence up. They can tip all they want. This will keep them separated. Hey, Fairbricks. And then I can get out here hopefully and get my $75 tiller, because I'm just playing now. But you can see I've already tilled it, but I want to get out and till it again because I like using it. It's fun. My trellises. Everything's coming along. This fence here, I got my posts in. I'll finish this fence today. Over here, you'll see these tipping posts. The holes are dug. I just set them in there temporarily. These will be secured today with some poke some stakes in the ground and put some stringers to them to hold them upright and plumb, so I can put some cement down there today or tomorrow. And then everything is really starting to, the snow's gone. It was 83 degrees yesterday. There's the tiller. Hey, Uncle Bob. But anyways, the star of the show here. You can see, get the sunrise going here. So that's going to be today's agenda. What is the weather like with everybody here? It is 41, headed to 75 today, I believe. Hey, Creating with Love. Hey, Smiggles. Hey, Jane. JC Calamity Jane in the house. How you doing? I liked your poo emoji. That was hilarious. Excuse me. I'm pretty sure you're going to start getting a collection of those, and I'm glad I was able to be a part of that too. Got my coffee. 32 to 40 degrees. Yeah, more poo emojis. Whoever would have thought that that would even be a statement in somebody's life? Oh, that's cool. Creating with Love. Just outside. Is she north, south, east, or west of Oklahoma City? I can be in Oklahoma City in about, if traffic wasn't an issue, which it usually isn't for us because I'm coming from the south, Oklahoma. Oh, freezing rain, 3 to 5, not counting. Oh no, that's not fun at all. And Simply Debbie Sue, 20 degrees and got a little snow. Uncle Bob. Just outside Oklahoma City. Oh, okay, okay, okay. So she's probably near Bricktown. She's probably off of what is it, 35 and 240. The interstates there somewhere. When my grandson had his operation the week before, or the Monday before Thanksgiving, we were at the Ohio State, yeah, Oklahoma, OSU. That's where he had his operation, the hospital at OSU. And we were literally 1 mile from the hospital. So the hotel we stayed at. Oh, thank you, JC. Thank you for sending a flower. Um, hey, Three Rivers. Oh, they took really good care of them. Yep, yep. They were great. The whole thing was great. That's a really cool. It's a huge, huge hospital. I mean, massive. They got a cardiac wing. They got the PICU. They got the child center. Then they got the trauma center, brain center. I mean, they got so many different wings to that place. It is crazy. It's a huge maze. But they rooms were nice. Cafeteria was really good. Oh, she really. Oh, that's good for her. And I'll tell you what, we were there Thanksgiving. We didn't come home till Thanksgiving evening, and so we weren't able to get together as a family and have a Thanksgiving dinner at home. But I went down to get breakfast in the morning, and I asked them, "Hey, is there anything being planned for Thanksgiving?" She goes, "Yep, every year they do the full-on Thanksgiving dinner," and they did. It was real turkey. It wasn't like deli turkey. You went down there, it was thick sliced turkey, real mashed potatoes with real brown gravy. They had stuffing or dressing, whatever you want to call it. They have dinner rolls, apple pie. I mean, they had the whole schmear. It was unbelievable, and it was good. But hey, happy chickens. How you doing? I hope everybody has big plans for today. What is everybody's plans for today? I just showed mine around the garden. I'll be working on the garden, getting it ready to rock and roll. But it's going to be 75 degrees here today. I got some wood shop stuff I'm going to do. I'm going to go click the little heater on there shortly. And then my wife and I are probably going to hop in the truck and go down to see our pallet guy and grab a bunch of pallets. And you can see over here by my asparagus, I had an idea. What I think I'm going to do is I'm going to get some more pallets, maybe 4, and I'll screw them together over here in the corner in a box, and then cut one halfway so it's shorter than the rest. And then that's where I'm going to throw my grass clippings and leaves and yard compost, branches and things. Break them up, throw them in there, and then they can just sit there all year long and break down, and that'll be my mulch in the winter. Yes, Smiggles. I have not this, so this is my first one. I got 8 asparagus plants here. Um, they were 2-year crowns when I planted them, and they grew last year. They crowned. They ferned out about 6 foot, 6'5". They got really tall, filled out, and I didn't harvest any of them. That would have been considered a 3rd year. I didn't harvest them though. I wanted them to get set in the ground. Um, and then when they died off, I just pruned them to the ground and put mulch down, and then I covered this area. I put down some grass clippings and some coffee grounds, covered them with a tarp to keep the weeds out, and put the my pallets over them. And then I'll plant another 10, 12, whatever asparagus crowns, and then I won't harvest them till next year. Yes, Yep, and like I said, I'm learning more about the asparagus. I've known them. I love them. I love eating them. That's why I wanted them. And if anybody watches, if you watch my garden stuff, I have the main garden where I do potatoes and green beans. But then I'm doing a couple different things. I'm doing raised beds now. I'm doing a potato tower. I'm doing a back to Eden or no-till garden section over here on the left. And then I'm going to be starting a series on. Um, I'm going to add a series on lazy man's gardening. Um, tastes like steak. That's interesting. Um, but lazy man's gardening. So what I mean by that is asparagus. So I'll keep them weeded, but they don't require any real work. They're planted, they're good for 10, 15, 20 years, depending on the strength of the plant. To my left, by my trellises over there, I have my apple trees. And one is a Gala and one is a Fuji. And then I'm going to be getting a third for the cross pollination, hopefully this spring. I'm going to be planting it here in about a week or two, I hope. And then I'll have the 3 apple trees. Those apple trees, they claim, can do anywhere from 500 to 1,500 apples a year once they are producing. And then what I want to do is over here on the left where I have more room, or over here, my property line goes over about another 20, 30 feet over that way. So I might trim this back and put down a whole row of maybe raspberries or something. And either raspberries or blackberries or something. And then that will be my lazy man gardening. The stuff I don't have to worry about really taking care of. I'll keep them watered, but all I got to do is come out and pick the asparagus, pick the berries when they're ready, pick the apples when they're ready, and then um, whatever I want to do with them. Applesauce, apple pie, uh, whatever. Can them, whatever. Thank you, Mexi. Northern Spies are very good. We are used to Cortland's. I am from upstate New York originally. I spent the first 41 years of my life in upstate New York. Most of it, we lived near the Adirondack Mountains, kind of close. We were within half an hour of the Adirondack Mountains. So I'm used to growing in that climate. Then we moved to Oklahoma, so now I have a much longer climate to grow in. Apple butter sounds good, JC. Make jam, yes. Apple butter, definitely. But I'll be doing a series on it. It's called. There's some people doing series on it. Just lazy man's gardening. It's just instead of crawling around the dirt like I like to do, you plant your asparagus, they're good for 10, 15, 20 years. You plant your trees, they're good as long as you take care of them and prune them and keep them watered in Oklahoma, you're all good. Raspberry bushes, so on and so forth. Hey, Aussie. If you can see over here now, right about here, there's a jet screaming along. Tinker Air Force Base is north of us, up near Oklahoma City. So they do a lot of stuff down this way. They come down to the Red River, which is on this part of Texas Oklahoma border is the border to Texas Oklahoma, and that pours into Lake Texoma, and then Lake Texoma comes out near Denison. The outlet is near Denison, Texas, on Route 90 maybe or something like that, I think. And then it becomes the river again, and then it flows all the way down into the south. Anyways, they'll come over here, and about once every couple days, you'll be sitting there, and you'll swear somebody just dropped a bomb in your backyard. What it was it's a sonic boom. They do their sonic booms down here at the Red River, and they'll fly a mile or two from your house. Because I'm literally about a mile and a half as the crow flies to the Red River, but I'm literally 15 miles from the border if I go the roads. the Red River is just south of me, about a mile, mile and a half. So they come down, I guess they get down over the Red River and they move along and then they do their sonic boom, whatever they're testing. And it will shake the windows in your house. I was out here working one day on the trellis and I was screwing the my sign on there, my Okies Eden sign on the top of the trellis over there. And one went overhead with the sonic boom and I almost fell off the ladder. Yeah, that's the whatever the condensation. I don't know what they call it. And you probably don't see it, but there's another one up here, right up here. It's probably out of camera sight. Hey, Lento. But yeah, this is Tinker. We're near Tinker Air Force Base, so we get a lot of jet activity. Yeah, I feel I feel you, Uncle Bob. Yeah, yeah, definitely. I mean, they usually do it like 2 in the afternoon, so they don't do it like in the morning or in the evening. They do it. I think they try to be a little respectful, I guess, where uh, they do it when hopefully most people are at work or up busy doing something. They're not doing it when you're trying to get your baby down for bed for the night to sleep. A sonic boom at 7:30, 8 o'clock at night. But I tell you what, they will surprise you, especially if you're on a ladder. You'll hear that boom, and you'll hear the building shake, and it just you see birds take off and strings and pucks. So right now it's about going on 44. It is going to be 75 here today. Oh, really, Uncle Bob? I mean, I don't really care. It doesn't. They don't do it. It's not obnoxious like every day, like 10 times a day. It's once every couple days. And I'm usually either mowing or tilling or working inside or something, so it doesn't phase me that much. It's just pretty funny. The sun should be popping here any minute now. Right, Smiggles. Yep. Hey, Van Lot. Oh, creating with love. Yeah, you're at 14 degrees here. No thanks. We were at during that snowstorm or ice storm, whatever we had. We got down to, I think one night we got down to 6 in southern Oklahoma, and we're not we're not set up for that. I remember in upstate New York, I used to help my father-in-law when if he'd build somebody's house or whatever, and hook the lines up from the well. And usually, I think it was 3 feet or 4 feet. I can't remember. You dig your trench where you'd have your well, the pump come out underground because the frost level's so much deeper up there. You have to get them below ground. Where here, you know, you rarely get under 10 degrees, but they only bury the stuff here, 12 inches, 13 inches, because they don't expect uh, you ever to get deep freeze for 2 or 3 weeks. Well, a lot of the places here aren't set up for it, so you get a lot of pipes bursting down here in the winter because they bury them, a foot underground. Oh wow, that's crazy, Uncle Bob. What's the temperature at your place, Strings and Pucks? I was at I saw your live the other day, um, and don't tell me because I don't. I want to watch it still. I just haven't had a chance. I had my grandson for 3 days, and I'll have him for 3 days again. Well, 3.5 days starting Monday afternoon. So um, I get behind. I got behind the last week on my watching my stories. That's what we old people do. We watch our stories, watch our Matlock and our Murder She Wrote. But I got to watch your one on the guitar you keep having to send back, the Ephone or whatever. I forget the name of it. Epiphone. I got to see if you sent it back or not. You put the question out there, so don't tell me I'm going to watch it. Wind chill -4. No, thank you. I'll pass. I will pass. You have Matlock. Okay. Wow. So JC, that is what I'm working on in the next couple of months as money and time permits. The back area where I do some of my live streams from will be my live stream area, or my yeah, where I do my lives, most of them, unless I'm in the garden. And I'm watching the deals. They have the smaller. You can get the smaller because I don't need a big screen. I want to get 3 or 4 of these smaller smart TVs and put them back in that room, and it'll kind of look like the stock exchange. I want to have the TVs on the wall so I can be doing lives, or during the day I can have 4 people running consecutively, 4 different channels running their stuff for watch hours and to help them out. And then I still have the other TVs in the house. So I plan on getting to the point where I can run anywhere from 5 to 8 channels at a time. So if I'm out here working in the garden, before I come out in the morning, I can just start them up and let them run, go in and check on them every once in a while to see if they need to hit the yes to continue, and then just keep running people 24/7 is what I intend on doing. They got some really crazy deals now. If you hit them just right, um, they'll have these smart TVs now, just one of the small ones for like $108 or something like that. So I'm just I'll get one in here in a few weeks. I'll mount it up there, get that one running, and then next month or two, if I get the money, I'll throw another one up, and so on and so forth. Uncle Bob, that's funny. Yeah, that's right. And then if I have the iPad at home, my wife takes that to work sometimes, but if I have the iPad at home, I get that running. So I already have the 3 TVs plus the computer, my phone, and the iPad. Um, they're not always running consecutively, but the TVs typically are. 2 are always running. One is in the master bedroom, so that only runs during the day when we're not sleeping. That's great, JC. That's awesome. Hey, Mark. So that is, the sun is popping. You can see it right about there. It's going to warm up quick. I looked at the weather, and it's, in an hour it's going to be 55, and then once that sun's full up about here, it'll get to 70 before 11 o'clock probably. And I'm on some steps here that come out my back door. I got to get weed trimmed around here and mowed, and then I got to get over here and push the mower. I'm going to go out here in our hay field and roughly chop some of this to put in my potato tower to get that rolling, because we're going to do a potato tower video and when I'm planting them. You all heard yesterday, if you run 20 hours of any one playlist, you'll marked bot and watch hours gone. I didn't know that, but I'll be mindful for that. Yeah. Typically what happens is uh, mine stop after a few hours, and then I'll switch to somebody else, and then I switch. So I switch back and forth. I don't think I've ever run, maybe one person I ran for a lot of hours, but yeah, I'll be mindful of that. Thank you, Uncle Bob. Yes, it's a little toilet potato tower. Yep, I had actually my first potato tower I ever did was right there last year, and I was gonna put a potato towers over here, but I didn't like the location, so I have one over to the left of me now, and it's bigger. It's like 2 by 3 feet, and then if I get a good harvest out of that, I'm hoping for like 10 to 20 pounds. if I do get 10 to 20 pounds out of it, I'm going to do a lot of potato towers next year. Yes, little toilet, they do, because you never know. I mean, what if there's a zombie apocalypse or we lose power and all of a sudden people are just running around trying to steal people's food? My potato towers will be protected. Here comes the sun. I'm not going to sing the song, but well, let's go, let's take this a little further, little toilet. What if they approach it and on top are some Frenchmen from like Monty Python and the Holy Grail, and they ask to see the Holy Grail, and they are taunted by the Frenchmen at the top of the tower? Give me a thumbs up if you know Monty Python and the Holy Grail. Thank you, Uncle Bob. Yep, it's going to be a beautiful day. I'm glad I came out. Like I said, I was over at my son's house this morning taking care of his dogs. Come home, pull in the yard. I see the sun starting to rise. I quick ran in there and uh, got my phone, and here it was well worth it. It's coming up fast now. Well, it's not moving any faster than normal. It's just it's coming up over the trees now. It looks like it's, I guess, or who knows? Maybe the sun rises faster in Oklahoma. I don't know. That would be science. Enjoy the chickens, JC. I think I told you, JC. My daughter just got another rooster. She patrols Facebook Marketplace almost hourly, and she saw somebody in her town was going to process their rooster. They wanted to get rid of it, but before they did that, they asked if anybody wanted it. So she wanted it. She went and got it, and now she has it at her house. Well, maybe she'll drive down and get it from you. I'll mention it to her. That's a beautiful sunrise right there. That is a beautiful sunrise. Thank you for doing that, Fairbrooks. I appreciate it. Fairbrooks is always there, and he's putting people's posting their links up there. So if anybody's interested in the links, um, Monday I switched my. I'm going to be working over here in the garden on Monday instead of Tuesday. I have my grandson all day Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. So I'm going to do my garden live on Monday instead. Yes, Little Toilet gets it. Yep, one of my favorite movies of all time. Um, so I'm going to do my garden live Monday. And then next Friday is going to be my YouTube growing garden. We did the start of it last night. We kicked it off. And then I'll make some announcements during the week. So hopefully we can get new people there. They can make connections and we can grow our YouTube channels like a garden. Everybody's trying to get to monetization, and our community is getting very close. I found out last night we're probably going to have a third one for the month of February here, hopefully in the next week, that will be monetized. I'm going to post that later today. And I'm hoping we're going to get 4 or 5 this month monetized through our group here. Thank you, It's Little Toilet. I appreciate it. Hey, James. So if you want to be part of a community and you're looking to grow your channel and try to get monetized, I would recommend showing up Friday. It's already in my if you check out my lives, it's already posted for Friday. And I talk about one YouTube. I'm going to have a YouTube topic to talk about for growth. It's going to allow people to connect. We're going to talk about how to properly make sure you keep your connections, how YouTube likes to see it done. I've researched that quite a bit the last month. We're going to talk about that. And then I do a shout out for 2. They're called the Plant of the Week. We'll do a shout out, and then I'll be running their stuff during the week, and hopefully others will also. So that's going to be Friday. So Monday we'll have my garden live. YouTube garden stuff will be on Friday, and then Sunday night I have a cooking video coming out that we make quite often at our house, and it is delicious. So that'll be 5 p.m. Sunday. It can be. Agreed, Smiggles. It can be. It's just one of those things, you know, you got to learn. You got to learn the platform. It's like getting a new job. You got to figure out who everybody is, who's your boss, what the rules are. You know, get called into the office once in a while to get yelled at until you figure it out. Hey, Mountain Man, check out Mountain Man. He uh, he and Strings and Pucks can really play the guitar. Oh, that's great. That's great, Strings and Pucks. Let me ask you, or Mountain Man, do you guys? I know it wasn't Elvis Presley's song, Guitar Man, but he did do the song, and he did it with his '68 comeback special where he was in his black leather. But Guitar Man, I've seen Jerry Reed did a really good rendition of it with I think Roy Clark, and Glenn Campbell did it. Do you guys have you guys ever played Guitar Man? Oh, no problem, Mountain Man. I enjoy your stuff. I watch your stuff every now and then. I like to. That's why I like Strings and Pucks. I think that's how you showed up on my stream. Was I follow Strings and Pucks, and I think you guys are connected too. I believe, if I remember correctly. But I I know a little bit of guitar, just enough to be dangerous. But I don't play it anymore. I just it doesn't. What's in my mind doesn't translate to my fingers. So I'm clumsy with the fretboard. You never. Oh, okay. Give it a try. I'd love to see that. Um, have you guys ever done uh, "Summertime Blues"? That's by Eddie Cochran. He's the one that originated it, but so many people because it's a very famous song. "Summertime Blues." He had 10 or 15 really good hits, and then he died in a car crash in London, I believe, headed to the airport. Um, they I believe the cab rolled over. He was with his fiancee and manager, and they all survived. And then he ended up having massive head trauma, and he died. He was 22, I believe. But it would have been awesome to see how the landscape of music would have changed with him and Elvis and some of the other big ones at the time. Carl Perkins, he did Blue Suede Shoes, and then Elvis, he gave Elvis I guess the rights to sing it, and then Elvis, of course, pretty much made Blue Suede Shoes pretty famous. Waylon Jennings, yeah, I liked Waylon Jennings. Yeah, Summertime Blues. Check out 20 Flight Rock sometime. That's by Eddie Cochran, and he was starting to, he was going to have a breakthrough. He already did. He had a breakthrough moment, and then he had a good following, and then he passed. But Paul McCartney from the Beatles got the rights. He talked to Eddie Cochran, I guess, and then he played. He heard the song 20 Flight Rock, and he played it. The Beatles played that quite often, I guess. And I don't know if they became friends before he passed or not, but I guess the Beatles really enjoyed the 20 Flight Rock song. But if you listen to Eddie Cochran, you're going to hear some songs that you didn't realize it was him, but he's the one that wrote. Eddie Cochran was a true musician. Eddie Cochran played the drums. I believe he played the trumpet, saxophone, and possibly the piano, if I remember correctly. He was a real musician. And some of his songs he did all of the music in the studio. He would do the drums and they'd lay the tracks or whatever, and he would do all of his own music sometimes. But that's just a little useless information to take up a little space in your brain. But anyways, well, the sun is up. It is warming up. Um, Brian Setzer was doing in Eddie Cochran. Yeah. So Mountain Man, Eddie, Brian Setzer is my top five. I've seen Brian Setzer um, in concert. I've been 5 feet from him while he's been playing his guitar. His his 59 Gresh, that Starburst one. I've seen him play that. Loved his music, Stray Cats. Then he went with what's his name, Mark Winchester, and Bernie Drezel as the drummer, and Mark Winchester was the Mark Winchester was the bass, Bernie Drezel was drums, and then they did a group called the '68 Comeback Special. That's right, Creating with Love. Yeah, so Brian Setzer, I've got his CDs. He was in the movie La Bamba, and because he that's where he bases a lot of his. Brian Setzer is a rockabilly guy from the Stray Cats, if you remember them, with Slim Jim Phantom and yeah, and Lee Rocker, and they were with the Stray Cats. And Eddie Cochran was one of his biggest influencers, along with Cut Across Shorty, who did that. Gene Vincent, and Cut Across Shorty was Gene Vincent and Eddie Cochran. Gene, Gene and Eddie Cochran and Gene Vincent. That's what it was. But La Bamba with Lou Diamond Phillips. I'm sorry, yeah. Eddie Cochran was played by Brian Setzer in that, and he did Summertime Blues on stage. But that was his biggest influence, was Gene Vincent and Eddie Cochran were two of his biggest influencers. But anyways, well, guys, I want to thank everybody for being here. I appreciate it. The sun is up. It's time for this old dude to get out and get some work done, because the garden is not going to plant itself or till itself, unfortunately. So everybody have a great day. Thank you all for being here. I saw some new faces. I appreciate you guys being here. Hopefully we'll see you Monday for my live. Have a great weekend. Stay safe. Go visit your families. Have some good food. And we'll see you on the next one. Take care, everybody.